Your boy's back from Buffet Times run, and we're doing some Half-Life 2. So I'm sure a lot of you here have seen Half-Life 2 runs before. We're gonna get right going. The time doesn't start until like a minute or two into the intro, so don't worry about that for a little bit. But I'm sure a lot of you have seen some Half-Life 2 speedruns before, but you probably haven't seen them in their current form. If you haven't watched in the last few months, this game's getting a little bit kooky.
Rise and shine.
So we're just gonna let
Rise and
let Mr. give us his little speech. So you guys don't know Half-Life 2. It's a game made by a company you may have heard of called Valve. I'm gonna have to alt tab the game real quick in order to like mute. Yeah, hold on, don't worry about it. So you may have heard of this game, and there's gonna be some fun stuff going on in it. So quickly to cover some things, this is the new engine run of Half-Life 2. There are two different major engines for Half-Life 2. Old engine, which was the pre-Orange Box engine, and by the way, time's in a few. But this is new engine, which came out with the Orange Box. Alright, time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to save buffer when we're inside the train at about a second and a half into the run. Doing this will make the trains clip into each other, which allows us to clip out of the train, and we can immediately start ASHing in order to do a big old launch to get above an invisible wall. So, important thing to talk about is the movement that we're doing. So, Half-Life 2 has movement that is called ABHing, which is accelerated backhopping. The way that accelerated backhopping works is, in the old engine for Half-Life 2, forwards bunny hopping was the main movement method, and Valve didn't like this, so they wanted to patch it out of the new engine that they made. So what they did was they made the game push you backwards if you were going too fast. But we can fool the game into thinking that we're not going fast by just going backwards, so the game will just keep giving us speed. And this guard broke my prop. So what's supposed to happen here is that this guy's supposed to teleport when I hit him on the head with the Chinese food. Try that again. We're gonna try to hit him on the head with this book. Barney. Oh, I mean, I spoiled it. I'm sorry. Come on, buddy. Oh, he did it. So this unnamed soul, we don't know who he is. He didn't really want to cooperate with us. So this is one of the few cutscenes actually left in the run. Nowadays, we skip a lot of them now with some neat stuff, but there's actually is a skip for this cutscene, but it takes like 5 minutes to do. So because this is a PC speedrun, we actually do the video game with in-game time instead of real time. So there's actually a skip that's faster for in-game time, but it's a lot slower for real time. Which it saves like a minute and a half on this segment because you don't have to watch this cutscene, but you spend about 3 minutes just hitting your save load bind, and it's really fun. But other things to talk about with movement, there's different kinds of ABHing you can do. For instance, you can kind of fool the game into thinking that you're going backwards by holding S, so you can kind of see where you're going while doing your fancy fast movement. But anyway, we're going to get into the actual game here in a second now that Barney's going to be done talking to us. So we're going to try to get one last teleport, which we got. The way that those teleports work, by the way, is that basically the NPC doesn't want to get stuck and will teleport to the end of wherever they're trying to walk to ensure that they don't get stuck and that the game doesn't soft lock. We just clip through that guard, don't worry about it. And we're going to continue onward. Hello, Buffet Time in the chat. So what we have to do now is we have to make our way over this fence, hop our way over to the next map. So the next map, there's actually a pretty significant skip that we do in this map. There's a trigger about halfway through this map in a normal playthrough that will allow you to take damage. So currently, when you start this game, you actually start with God mode enabled, which basically makes it so that you can't die from anything. But there's a trigger on Train Station 03, the map we just finished, that will make you take fall damage, or make you take damage again, but we completely skip that trigger, so we don't take damage from falling down here when it would normally kill us if we went through the last map normally. But anyway, this is Red Letter Day skip that I'm about to do. This is the newest trick in Half-Life 2 that allows us to skip the longest cutscene in the game by doing a trick called Bill's Big Thrill, which is what I just did there. So what happens is that you basically put a prop up to a car tire, and because car tires have really weird friction values, the prop loses all of its collision and flies in a random direction. What happens when that happens is that if you jump into the prop, you will also lose your collision and kind of just start flying. So what we do is we activate this cutscene while we are in this weird glitch state. And this glitch state offers a few more different things that we can do. One of them is we can actually save the position of our hitbox by jumping and then crouching into the air. So what we're going to do is we're going to back up into this corner, and then right before we hit the wall, we're going to jump and crouch into it. This will store the position that we jumped at, or our hitbox at the position we jumped at. So we can then hit our hitbox with that plank, and we can fly up to this corner of the map. The reason we're doing this is because we want to set our position into a particularly precise location that is on top of all these invisible boxes we're walking on that will allow us to be able to skip the next map. So we need to make our way back here, and we need to start another movement chain. And we did that right. So we jump into the air and crouch, which will store our position wherever we last jumped. And until we uncrouch, our position will stay there. So we actually have to hold down crouch while we go through the entire rest of this trick. So we're going to land on this bridge. And we're going to jump back through this window and make our way back to the Alex cutscene. By the way, this is probably the hardest trick in the game and also the most risky, because if I mess this up now, I lose a minute and a half, because I have to go all the way back to the very beginning of the trick when I put the paint can to the car tire. I have to do that again. So we don't want to mess this up. We don't want to uncrouch. Oh, another property of this I forgot to mention. I always forget to mention this one. If I touch a prop, it will instantly teleport back to wherever I stored my hitbox. But this is very useful for us, because what we're going to do is we're going to barely set this prop inside of a trigger that will put us to the next map. What this will do is on the exact same frame, well, in Source it's called ticks, but frames are easier to understand. We're going to touch this prop and go into the next map, which will teleport us to our hitbox location, but put us into the next map, which, if we do correctly, will allow us to skip all of Red Letter Day. And I'm very happy I got that first try. So we're at the end of the very long 8-minute cutscene, and now we're going to be doing a trick called a save delete, where we're going to delete a save and then hit a command called reload, which will make the game try to load back our most recent save that doesn't exist because we deleted it. And now we're going to head back into this map to grab a barrel, and then we're going to head back forward. So what I'm going to do here is called a prop climb. Basically, if I let go of a prop, jump off of it, and then immediately re-grab it, I can gain infinite height as long as I'm next to a wall. In the old engine for the game, you can actually do that pretty much anywhere. You don't need a wall. And you can technically do it without a wall in new engine, but it's so difficult that no one can really do it to any degree that it matters. We just have to get above this fence. And now we're going to be doing one more save delete so that we can get our crowbar. So we're going to do it with New Game instead, because we can unlock that chapter once we get into this map, so we can load the New Game off the chapter, which is a bit faster of a way to save delete. Now we can make our way through Canal. So now we're in Root Canal, which is when the game really starts to open up. Normally, this is like when the run actually started, but now with Red Letter Day skip, we can get to this point in less than 7 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous considering the Red Letter Day cutscene is alone longer than that. But anyway. So what we did there was we launched off of the dumpster to go on top of the map, which is a very difficult thing to do, and I'm very happy that I got it. And now we have to just run our way through here, and we're going to pick up this box. What we're going to do with this box is we're going to item climb with it to get on top of this map, which will allow us to skip to the end of the map a lot faster. Okay, we're going to need to start doing some movement. And we're going to jump down here, run forward to hit one trigger, and then run into this loading zone to hit the next trigger. We're then going to do some parkour to get on top of trains, because it's faster than breaking all those boards, and do some more cool movement. Excuse me. And we're going to do this. Nope. Poor dead man. Why are there two men? What? Why are there... So, okay, there's only supposed to be one civilian there, and there's supposed to be two Metro cops, but for some reason, one of the civilians replaced the Metro cop, because this game does that all the time, and it's great. There's never the same amount of NPCs there, ever, and I don't understand why. It's so good. But anyway, while we're in here, we're just going to be throwing barrels against this wall here, so that we can all blow them up at once. To allow us to continue through this gate. Okay, so I know this has been already a bit too much to handle with Red Letter Day Skip and all that, but stuff's really just gonna kind of boil down into a lot of cool movement pretty soon. But there are going to be some more tricks that are going to kind of be confusing to explain that I'm going to do my best to, because Source is a really, really complicated engine that is super hard to understand, and no one really does. Because no one has any resources to learn. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to do a circle strafe, which is kind of hard. There's a very tight amount of space there to actually do that movement, so it's a little bit tricky. Now we're going to skip the physics puzzle by jumping onto this platform instead of doing it. Normally you have to put a bunch of cinder blocks onto that it was like a little seesaw, so that you can weigh down the seesaw and be able to go up on the other side, and slow, whatever, don't worry about it. And now we're on Canals A3. Canals A3 is one of the longer maps, and we have to watch a little bit of cutscene where we're going to meet our boy Manhack Matt. So this dude actually has a little bit of an infamy in the Source speedrunning community. So if you guys remember the Dwamov segmented run that came out like a billion years ago at this point or something, this was like one of the hardest. Like, they tried to teleport this NPC from here to here to save like not even half a second, and it was like the hardest segment for anyone to get ever. It was great. But now that we've watched that cutscene, we're just gonna kind of skip past all these manhacks. Don't worry about them. Blow up this barrel to clear our path. Excuse me. And we're gonna do the hardest jump in the game. Oh, first try. Let's go. Frankerzy's in the chat. And get past all these boys, and then we're gonna have to do some underwater swimming. So you can swim underwater as long as you start you can sprint underwater as long as you start sprinting before you actually go underwater. But if you start sprinting before you or after you go underwater, then you won't get any speed from it. Yeah, that's the Frankerzy. The true OG of speedrunning. So, ignoring all these boys, we're going to shoot out this gate, jump our way through here, drop down, bring a barrel with us, so that we can skip the water puzzle that we normally would have to do here. But instead, we're just going to be taking this barrel, hopefully not getting manhacked. I'm getting manhacked pretty hard right now. And we're going to item climb again. It's very easy for the manhacks to just completely knock this barrel out of my grip. Thankfully they didn't there that much, but it's happened a lot. You can lose a lot of time from it. But now that we are done with this map, we're going to be moving on our way to the last map of Canals A3. Just going to throw a box to that manhack, climb this ladder. And we're going to start heading our way into the boatless segment of the game. So, this is one of the more notorious segments of the game, where you have to bring an airboat with you throughout a bunch of maps, and have to go through a bunch of puzzles and a bunch of different challenges with the airboat, because you have to bring it all the way with you to the end of this part, because, you know, there's goo everywhere, there's no way to swim over the water. The airboat's over there, but we're not going to get it. It's fine, don't worry about it. We're just going to do that. We're just gonna kind of ABH our way through all this, because there's actually nothing that is going to stop us from not bringing the boat. There is actually one obstacle that not having the airboat doesn't let you get around, but we have a different way that we're going to be skipping that. It's gonna be super fun. All right, so now we're on Water Hazard, which is probably the hardest chapter in the game, because we have to do some. Oh Jesus, this is fast. Not anymore. This is still kind of fast. Well, okay, that was pretty good. Only 3 seconds off my gold. That's not bad. That was dummy fast. But yeah, this is probably the hardest section of the game, because we have to do so much really, really precise movement There's also a problem with these maps where there's a lot of displacements, which is basically unevenness in the ground textures. So even though a lot of these textures and a lot of these, you know, the ground that I'm just jumping off of right now looks smooth, there's a lot of random jugged things that can randomly just completely kill all of your speed. And if you hit any of those, then you just get fricked, and it's just over. So we're just skipping through all the boat lists, don't worry about it. All of the canals without the boat. And we're gonna, oh, that was a bit too much. These tunnels are hard to get through fast without dropping your ABH chain. And we're going to surf off these. And remember this like gate that closed and you had to go all the way around to reopen it? We're just gonna kind of go past it. And we're gonna launch. Oh, that's not enough. Try that again. We're gonna launch off there. We're gonna land right in this tunnel and start going our way through. Now, normally here I wouldn't save delete, but I have so little HP here that I absolutely need to. This map you need pretty much max HP going into in order to be able to survive and be able to do the fast route on the next map. So Canals A3 is a really, really difficult map, probably one of the hardest in boat lists. The reason behind it is a very long tunnel full with toxic goo coming up later that we need a lot of speed to be able to get through. This tunnel right here. So we need to have a lot of speed to get through this tunnel, at least 2,000. It's quite tricky, especially because the hill that we're going up there is like the king of displacements. There we go. So we launch our way through, and we can swim our way past all this goo without taking much damage. Also, I apologize for the flashes. There's no way to remove those without cheating, according to the speedrun mods for this game. Anyway, so the fast route on the next map here is where we take our momentum from the end of this map, and we try to use it. Come on, we got this. We try to use it to not have to save delete. Because there's a lot more goo here that we need to swim through, but we don't want to have to like, get a bunch of HP back in order to be able to do it. So we just have to make sure we get a good amount of speed in order to get to the other side. So now what we have to do is do another launch off this little mound, fly past all this pretty stuff, and bang.
Minor fracture detected. Warning. Vital signs.
Thankfully, the white flashes aren't going to be nearly as prevalent for the rest of the run. So we have to get a launch up here, slide down this crane so we don't take any fall damage, and then we're going to be doing another launch off of this mound. It will fly us right to the end of the map. You might get a little deja vu coming up, actually. So we're going to do this, and then we need to do our second to last save delete of the entire run. So one thing that kind of sucks about save deleting is that a cool part about this game without save deleting would be that you can run around collecting health and ammo that you need to do certain tricks. But with save deleting, if you ever are low on health or low on ammo, you can just save delete and you always will get exactly what you need to do particular tricks. But by the way, we have no clip. Now that we don't, okay, let me explain this, then I'll explain why I mentioned save deleting. So what happens with this trick is that when you get inside of an airboat, the airboat gives you no clip until you get outside of the airboat. And what we did there was we got out of the airboat in a particular place that allowed us to skip the change level trigger, taking us back into this map. And then we got out of the boat, which made the boat disappear. And because we didn't ever get fully out of the boat, we never got our no clip taken away. So we just kind of no clipped our way into a barnacle, which gave us back collision, but with a special twist. So for all intents and purposes, the game thinks that Gordon is an airboat right now, and it will give Gordon airboat physics. For instance, props act really weird when you're an airboat, and you can just kind of jump through walls with props. So pretty much for the rest of the run, one of the most significant things we're going to be doing in order to save a lot of time is jumping into walls with props in order to clip right through them. This trick is called quick clip. It allows us to do a bunch of wall clips that would otherwise be completely improbable to do in a run. By the way, so here is Chili Launch, made by a dude named Chili and said she's another Half-Life 2 runner, one of the more well-known ones. He made this launch, which is a really cool setup in order to be able to get on top of this mound. And then what you do is, I'm gonna do some ASHs through the water. Whoa. Box. Alright, I fricked up. I fricked it up. It's all over. No, okay, wait, hold up. I don't even know how to describe that. Just ignore all this fail. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna do my very slow backup, where I could have saved like 1 billion years on this map, but I'm only saving like 3 years. Okay. Alright. I forgot I have to auto-split for that one. Or manually split. But anyway, now that we're done with that, we're just gonna fly our way through this map. And we're gonna have 2 more maps until we get to the end of Boatless. And then we're gonna be chilling for a bit. Or ASHing. Fun, fast movement. Making our way through all these crazy obstacles. Don't worry about them. It's just zombies. Fine, I died because I'm dumb. Oh, okay, there we go. We're gonna blow up this barrel because we want this dude to go away. Oh, also, probably should have mentioned this before. Another weird state of the trick that I'm in, quick clip, is that I cannot take damage from bullets or melee attacks at all. The only things that will deal damage to me are environment hazards like the goo. Explosives and fall damage are the only things that will actually do damage to me. Bullets and melee attacks will go completely through me because my model technically isn't there. It's like invisible. It's weird. This game's dumb. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So my model isn't there, so things just kind of go through me. And we're just going to be on our last map of Boatless, where we're just going to ignore the helicopter and just launch over this thing. Okay, whatever. We did it. Okay, now that we're done with that, we're in Black Mesa East. And we do some movement. This is a pretty long cutscene map. But we actually have some means to speed up this cutscene now, so it's not nearly as painful to sit through. It lasts for most of the rest of the game. We get rid of it a little bit before the game actually ends, but we have it for most of the rest of the game. There we go. We jump through the wall there, and then we're just going to set up so that we can go through this cutscene a little bit quicker. I'm going to break this box in order to get a nice little piece of wood. How do you move so fast? There's a technique in this game called ABHing that basically will exponentially increase your speed because the game is trying to make you go slower, but you're going backwards, so the game just keeps making you go faster. That's another important thing about ABHing is that it's an exponentially increasing thing. Like if I'm going, I will gain more speed if I am going at 500 speed than if I'm going at 300 speed.
We could certainly use the extra help
on my next hop.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Teleport. Thank you.
So much faster if we had more people with you. We're closing in on a reliable.
So what I have to do here is I'm going to use these 2 barrels to create places for me to clip. The 1 barrel I'm placing on the floor there, I'm going to clip to use to clip down into the floor below me. And this barrel I'm going to be using to clip out of the elevator after Mossman's puts me into it. What's up, Good to Go? Is that Good to Go, the Tron speedrunner? Remember to stay hydrated, everybody. Remember to drink some water, slurp it up. So what we're doing in this cutscene is basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing 2 different parts of one cutscene at the same time. What's up, Dak? So what we need to do is we need to clip into this room to hit a trigger that will allow Eli to start talking. Eli turns into Mega Man for a little bit. Oh wait, no dude, it ruined. Sometimes Eli keeps the Mega Buster on his hand and he turns into Mega Man. But what we basically have to do here is, now that we've triggered... Oh, what? Seriously, Mossman? So what we have to do here is we have to block Mossman with this prop for long enough that Alex will be like, oh, Mossman's not in the room, I should come in. Okay, Mossman, you gotta take a chill pill. So there's a weird kind of luck-based factor when it comes to this trick, where Mossman can randomly decide that she doesn't give a single hoot about your prop. like, she will, like, you must be blocking her with the prop, and then she'll just be like, you know what? I'm tired of this. And she'll just walk right through you and just not care. But anyway, you might hear it in a second. Yeah, but there are 2 cutscenes playing at the exact same time right now.
I never thought it would take you this long to get back to me. Welcome to the lab anyway. It's not Black Mesa, but it served us well enough.
It's going to be a lot more like Black Mesa with Gordon here to help.
Right, you are.
But anyway, what we're going to be doing for the rest of this map is just waiting for,
We'll get you out of that hazard.
waiting for all this cutscene stuff to be over.
Let me just finish up.
Also, when you heard Eli said, look at this, Gordon, don't look at anything. Looking at stuff is very, very bad. If you look at things and Eli starts talking, you lose a lot of time. Because him talking delays the rest of the cutscene from continuing. But I came here for Refunct? Well, I have got some news for you. A professional Refunct speedrunner might be featuring themselves at Valuethon tonight. One of the greatest in the world, as it turns out.
Alex, I thought you were on watch.
So, a bit more about the trick that we executed here.
I have the repairs well in hand.
Allowing both cutscenes to play at the same time essentially skips the part of the cutscene where Alex and Eli are talking to you because it's playing at the same time that the first part is. So, excuse me.
Then maybe you should let me do the calculations.
So basically,
as well as installing it.
we were able to skip half the cutscene by having it play over the first part of the cutscene.
Alex, why don't you take Gordon along and give him some...
There's one more important part about this map.
Sure.
The hardest part about this map,
Let's
as
go
it
have
turns
some
out.
fun.
The 0-point energy field manipulator is not a toy, Alex.
Ugh, let's get out of here.
So, upcoming, there is a teleport called Ramp Teleport, where there is a big ol' ramp, and Alex will sometimes teleport up it instantly, and sometimes she'll waste like 1 billion years not teleporting up it. It's fun. It's good fun. But anyway, we're gonna place a barrel right up here. We're gonna get this box. We're gonna throw it up there. We're gonna actually put it over here so it's not in their way.
Behind her back. It just gets a bit claustrophobic down here.
So we're gonna be waiting for Alex. Come on. Come on.
That's the old
There we go.
passage to Ravenholm.
We want to stand in this ramp because for some reason it makes her walk faster after she says that voice line, and no, no, no! We didn't get it. So yeah, this teleport will just sometimes not happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. So unfortunately I was going to save quite a bit of time here, but I'm not going to now because of not getting the ramp teleport. So, this is the map where we get the gravity gun, but how about we just don't? Just fuck it, who cares? I don't know, who needs gravity? Don't worry about it, it's fine. So yeah, we completely skipped the gravity gun for now. We do need to get it to beat the game, but we're gonna get it through a different method, through save deleting. We're gonna save delete it into our inventory near the end of the game. Because watching the cutscene where Alex gives you the gravity gun is like 30 seconds long, so we don't want to do that. Anyway, this is the zombies, the zombie house, the zombie town. A lot of zombies here. There's like some old dude with a shotgun, and I don't know. He's like I've heard of him, but I haven't actually ever seen him, so I don't know if he's actually a thing. It'd be kind of messed up if someone else was living here, though. Yeah, we're just gonna skip our way through all of town, as you would expect. Bunch of explosive boosting. That was a gold. Gonna take this barrel and clip into this wall, which brings us into one of the Lambo locator hidden areas where you would normally get, you know, a little blip saying you got a little achievement. And now we're going to be doing probably the one hard strat in all of town, which is a double grenade boost in order to skip this entire map. But we got it. So doing that allows us to skip everything, the zombie fighting, talking to Gregor, the dude, Gregory or whatever. And then we do a big old boost up here to skip this map. And we're gonna go here, go underground. So, just gonna fall our way onto all these health kits, fall our way onto this rock so we don't take a lot of fall damage. Excuse me, poison head crab. And now we need to drop down here. And we're gonna stand on top of this explosive barrel because it will allow us to clip, oh, whoops. Because if we use this explosive barrel to clip down into the water, we can actually save a good amount of our sprint meter, which allows us to be able to get through the second pool of water a lot faster because we have more sprint to be able to get through it. No, the head crabs are called poison head crabs. The new zombies that were introduced in Half-Life 2 that weren't in Half-Life 1 are called fast zombies. The head crabs are called poison head crabs, because Valve is really good at naming things. That was Town 04. Now we're into the nice, happy outside area. So this game's actually split up into 3 different days. This is currently the last. This is the last part of. Why am I not getting any height? What's happening? There we go. This is the last map for day 1, and going on to Coast is going to bring us to day 2. We're gonna go over here, grab a shotgun, clip through the wall here, try to clip through these barrels, but be unsuccessful, and also get stuck in them. By the way, you can get stuck in stuff really easily, so it's very easy to lose your run just by kind of walking into something wrong and getting stuck in it and losing a bunch of progress, but whatever. Alright, so now we're on Coast. I'm sure you all know how fun Coast is for Half-Life speedruns. You know how the... Excuse me. You know how, like, Coast is, like, you know, you drive the car around? We also don't do that. We don't like vehicles in this game. The only vehicle we like in this game is the pods at the end. Those are good vehicles. So what we need to do here is we need to, like, ABH out of this tunnel immediately to the left. It's really tricky to do this. This is probably, like, the one hard thing to me in this part of the in Coast. There we go. So we can land in the water and do an ASH so that we can swim through the water. Oops. Skipping the whole map pretty quickly. It's gonna launch up here to get through here. That went really badly. That's okay though. Now we're going to run our way through Coast 04, I believe this one is. I can't actually remember because Coast skips a lot of maps in the numbering. For instance, this is 04. Okay, we're gonna go from, we went from 1 to 3, and we're gonna go to 5 next, and then we're gonna skip to 7, and then we're gonna skip to 9. In terms of the map numbering, because Valve is dumb and didn't name the maps. Okay, so anyway, that was Coast 05, by the way. So yeah, but what we're doing now is we're going to be doing the hardest part of this chapter, in my opinion, which is trying to get a good launch off of anything here. No. So the goal here is to try to get a launch that will take us to all the way across the bridge to the end of this map. It's really hard to do that, though, because there's, like, so many things that can block your path here, or can make it really hard to get a good launch. But thankfully, we finally got one. So we're going to deflect off of this train. We're going to try doing that again. There we go. So we deflect off that train, and now we can just ASH our way to the end of the map.
Minor fracture detected.
Good, good. Now we're on sand traps, the second half of the Coast part of the run. Oh god, that was fast. Whoa, I've never done that before. That was sick. So Coast 09 is probably another one of the harder Coast maps. Really easy to accidentally die, really easy to accidentally lose like a billion years, really easy to accidentally gain a lot more height than you want, really easy to gain a lot more height than you want. Really easy to not get height that you want. There we go. So we need to launch off of that rock in a weird way that we deflect off of the long part, or the steep part of it, so that we can get more height. It's whatever. Let's run. What was the first one? I try to limit that, but that strat was... I need to watch the VOD and see what I did there, because if I can make that something I do a lot, then that would be really good. Is it really easy to get the height that you want? Generally, yeah, but when you're bad like me, and you get height like this. Excuse me, sorry, Laszlo. So, just doing our thing. We actually need to go into here to get a SMG nade. And now we're going to be launching off this rock in order to... Oh, please let me do this. Strat is so good if you can do it, but it's like... Oh, we did it. Hell yeah. I can never get that strat in runs. I'm so happy that I finally did. So what you can do there is, we did that launch there, but there's actually a slower strat called Shadow Temple Early. Because if you guys know the Ocarina of Time trick, Shadow Temple Early, where you have to, like, walk on seams and stuff in order to get to the Shadow Temple early, it's pretty much the exact same trick. You walk on seams, you go to, like, out-of-bounds stuff. It's all good fun. So now what we're doing is we're going to be doing a big ol' launch to get our way to the very top of this big ol' map. So this map has a lot of verticality to it. Lots of climbing that you gotta do in a casual playthrough in order to be able to go through this map. Let me give myself a bit more room to do this. There we go. We have to launch off here, do an SMG nade boost, and fly our way right to the top of the map. Hello. Speedrunning is cool with the WoWie. Alright, and we're going to do a nice old launch here, do 2 S taps. Another thing, by the way, is that when you if you hold S when you're in the air, trying to do ASH or AFHs, accelerated forward hopping. If you hold S when you're in the air, you actually will lose speed. So if you want to do AFHs, you actually have to time when you tap S to make the game think you're going backwards to be right about the time that you're on the ground and no more than that. Or else you will not go fast. But anyway, now we're in prison. So Nova Prospect used to be one of the slowest, most agonizing parts of the run. Now it's super fast and super easy and super fun. Because, in particular, Prison 06 was one of the longest maps in the original run because there was cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. Now, there is no cutscenes. It's great. So we take this box, clip through the wall, SMG nade boost over this wall, and we're gonna make our way to the next map. Whoops. Oh, we're doing this again. That is not the right one. There we go. Nope. I'm dumb. There we go. We did it. Now we clip through this wall, and we're at the end of that map. And we can clip through this wall? No, we can't. That's probably the hardest clip in the game. Hard enough that if you mess it up, pretty much no one actually goes for it again. Because it's just really, really dumb and hard. But anyway. So we're going to clip with those turrets to get through here. And we're going to take this box with us to clip through here. Break these boxes to get some armor. And we're going to be running our way to the end of this map into Prison 06, which used to be one of the worst maps in the game, and that was quite fun. So we're going to be taking this box with us, and we're going to be oh, I messed up. We're going to be bringing it with us on a little adventure. So we're going to be doing a nade boost to get up here. We're going to reorient the box so that we can step on it to get up here. Bringing the box with us all the way on top of this map. We're going to do another SMG nade boost to get up here. And we're going to bring this box with us and put it lining up with this line on the wall so that way we can fall and land on this fence to avoid taking fall damage. Using this box to skip another cutscene. Taking a box from here to skip through this door, which normally only Alex can open during the cutscene. Taking this with us to go through another gate that only Alex can open during a cutscene. And we're going to be doing... Dang, I didn't do it. It's a really hard strat there where you can do a really fast clip to get down into this room faster. But anyway, we did that. We're gamers. I'm gonna grab some ammo from this box. Get over this fence. Unclip it now. Walking into this. Normally you don't take fall damage if you do that setup, but I did it a little bit wrong, so I did take fall damage. No big deal if you do. Plenty of health to go around. Gonna get this armor here, and we're going to start cooking a grenade so that we can not do that. What? Dang. Did make a save. So I lost a lot of time. So what you normally want to do is you want to cook the grenade. Throw it into this corner so that you can get through. And we're going to run over here, grab another SMG nade from here, kill this guy, and go on to the next map. Alex, what? We're gonna kill one of these guys because he'll drop HP, and because we have 70 armor, we only need to get about 45 health here. We'll go for clip down into this room, and now we're gonna be doing a strat called a void clip. Or excuse me, not a void clip, a prop clip, where we clip with a prop by getting it stuck inside of our body, and we're now in the floor. We can do this to actually make it so that we can go through this clip brush. So currently we're in a clip brush, and we're flying through this clip brush, and the reason we're doing this is because we need to activate the turret that is in this little sector of the wall right here. Oh, did I mess up? Let me try this. No, that was a lot worse. I'm happy I made a backup, because otherwise we would be dead. So my FPS is lowered to 30 right now. The reason behind this is because when you have lower FPS, you actually go down slower. So the weird thing about Source is that whenever you get stuck in a wall, the game drags you down. And whenever the game drags you down, you don't want to go down, because then you'll go too far down. It's not good. So what we did there is we activated these two turrets through walls, which actually started the elevator sequence. So the elevator that would normally wait a while to go down, waiting for Eli to call, or for Mossman to call it, actually is just kind of coming down right now. So this is a pretty complicated trick. So what we're doing right now, this is not a good setup. I need to fix this. So what we're doing right here is, come on, dude. No. Better. There we go. Okay. So what we're doing right now, oh god, no, that's not gonna work. That should work. Okay. So what we're doing here is that we set up the no, it's not good. No, stop. Hold on, let me load a previous save. God dang it, Mossman. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to block the console here with this prop. And what's supposed to happen is that this Mousman just kind of looks at the console and is like, I can't, there's something in my way, can't do it, it's not happening. She just stands there and is just upset looking at it. It's like, she's really contemplating it. The reason we're doing this is because we need to, basically once the elevator gets to a certain point, we're going to take away the prop, Mossman's going to activate the elevator and call it down, but then she's going to immediately teleport away, so the game will let us get into, no, bad. No, stop. But what we're supposed to do is just keep this guard alive. He can't hurt us because we don't take bullet damage, and keeping him alive makes it so that the infinite wave of Combine doesn't spawn. There's a lot going on. It's kind of dumb. But we're just currently waiting for this to give us a visual cue where it will flash red twice, and then we can take away the prop and let Mossman do her thing. Which is, there's 1. And 2. So we're just gonna kind of heal up here while this dude's just kind of doing his thing. What are you doing? That is really not nice. Why? What do you want with her? Stop it! What is wrong? Hold on a second. Dude, he is not scared. What is this man? Alright, so, Kill Eli, kill Eli, kill Eli. Yes! Wait, did it? No, it broke! Oh, that was so close! Oh, I lost so much time from that. Wait, no, I didn't. Can I save this? Okay, hold on. I probably can save this. I need to save this. Hold on. This is something I haven't had to deal with before. Oh my god, dude. This is a new... Oh, I did it. Okay. That's new. I haven't had to deal with that before. So, okay. What you can have happen there is that you can actually have Eli die late enough in this, like... We can actually have Eli die late enough in that kind of cutscene that he'll just die, but Mossman will teleport away anyway, and you can just continue the run anyway. No, that's happened before. That's happened before. That's common. You'll just go into the floor, don't worry about it. So now what we need to do is, once this elevator goes up, because the elevator's a prop, we can't actually stand in it. So once the elevator goes up enough, we're just gonna do a, whoop. We're just gonna do a, come on. Double grenade boost in order to get to the top of the elevator and let us sit in the loading zone that will take us to the next map. And there we are. So now we're in the next map, City 1701. This map, for a while, had a pretty unskippable cutscene, but we found a way to skip it using the orb from the AR2, allowing us to clip using that little big old thing on the wall. Clip using that, break this box for some HP, and we're going to drop down here. Now we're in Anti-Citizen 1, and we're in the City 17 part of the game, the home stretch. And we're going to launch over that invisible wall. Use our prop. Gonna drop our prop here to orient it properly, and then we're gonna do a big ol' clip. Allow ourselves to get to City 1703. And now we're gonna get some support. They're gonna be cheering on the fact that Valuethon was able to raise $1,000 this time around. Woo, yeah! They're not saying it. Okay, whatever. Normally they cheer there, and they didn't, so now I just look like a dummy. God dang it.
Watch out for the hoppers! They're everywhere!
So now, we're gonna make our way up, make our way around town, grab some supplies from this Lambo locator cache. More, and now we're going to be doing a neat little triple grenade boost, or double, well actually triple, what am I saying? Dang. There we go. So if we do that, oh no. There we go. If we do that, we can get right to the end of the map. Murder this man, fall down through this table, fall down through this table, and here we are. Oh, the classic noir bucket at GDQ. That was epic. He just sat there, trying to do the barrel strat for like 20 minutes, or something crazy like that, and then he no-clipped later on the map. It was good. I accidentally used a cheat earlier this run, but no one actually saw it, and it didn't actually do anything. And I immediately turned it off. I'm sorry, by the way, for cheating during my Valuethon speedrun. I accidentally hit a bind that made the game go faster, but I immediately unhit it. I also hit it during a loading zone, so it literally made no effect on the gameplay at all, but I still hit it, so I feel kind of guilty. But whatever. Flip through here. Flip through... Flip through here. Run up here, grab this boy. Do. This run was actually pretty good up until Coast, by the way. So yeah, we're mostly just kind of Mostly just kind of doing fun movement. Well, man, that save was far away. Mostly just doing fun movement stuff now. My bad, dude. There we go. Now we're gonna do an ASH. Get over to the underground. Jump through this loading zone. Jump through this door. Grab this tire. Say hello to our good old friends, the Manhacks. Say goodbye to our good old friends, the Manhacks. Murder. I don't actually know what you're supposed to do if you fall down here. But yeah, you're supposed to like. I'm having some Brian issues right now. My Brian isn't working. Like the thinking organ. My Brian, it's not functioning right now. We did it. Okay, there we go. So you jump over that gap. Now we're gonna be doing a double boost using this explosive barrel and a regular grenade in order to get up here. There we go. And we're gonna do an SMG nade boost to get up here. 1 HP, it's more than enough. No, man, I have too much now. Actually, I want more HP. Alright, we've done that. We're gonna launch. Whee! I don't normally get that, which is why I messed it up. And didn't go where I wanted to. That's actually pretty hard to get, that launch. Because it's like, there's like such a tiny little mound that you need to launch off of, and it's really hard to do it, and it's precise, and I somehow got it, but then messed it up anyway because I'm f***ing cool. But anyway, speaking of cool, you all in the chat are pretty cool. IMO. Murder that man. Put a box on top of this barrel. Close the door. Break this box. Line ourselves up with this dot in the wall. Line ourselves up with this dot. Line ourselves up. And we're gonna boost. Nice setup, scuff. Oh, no, it's not. And we can do that. It's cool. So we're done with this map, and we're gonna go into the museum. Remember the museum where you had to like get rid of all the orbs, and Barney is there. Super long map, super fun, murdering a bunch of Combine. Super great. So we're gonna do that now. So we're gonna go into the museum or the city hall, whatever it is, and then we're gonna go out of the museum. You're gonna see it says exit over here, so we want to go this direction. And we did it. We saved the city. Now we're gonna run up the center of these staircases. The sides of these staircases are ramps and they make you go slow. So don't do that. And now that we have a rocket jump, or rocket launcher, we can do some, you know, transferring my TF2 jump skills over to the Half-Life. By the way, the rocket jump thingy in this game, the rocket launcher, feels absolutely terrible compared to the TF2 one. As someone who has done a lot of TF2 rocket jumping, God, that thing feels great compared to this thing. So now here, normally I would do like a big old launch above this map, but I'm going to just kind of jump over these gaps. And go to the end of the baby. And we're going to break all these boxes. Grab the contents. And now we're going to launch off a dumpster. So dumpsters allow you to launch and launch high and fast, so we're going to do that. If we could actually start a bunny hop correctly. And nope. Dumpster, like me at this video game. Okay, I am missing up dumpster launch, and that is sad, because this trick is super free. There we go. See how high we are now. I just gotta do this now. Get up here. I'm gonna break these boxes so I can get some armor for the next map. Dr. Freeman. Rocket jump over that wall. Break every box because you're just smart like that. Is there any backup boxes around here? I'm curious. Here's one. Let's use this one. So you don't want to break all those boxes, but I did because I'm smart. And then you jump through the wall. Box. Did it. Pick up this trash can because it wanted to remind me of myself. And we're going to go into Citadel. So we're going to be saying goodbye to Quick Clip. So say goodbye to Quick Clip. We're going to miss you, buddy. Because we need to save delete on this map. So use Quick Clip due to the fact that you... thanks for donating bits to Valuethon, Johnny. But yeah, now that we save delete, we have our gravity gun back. So we can actually gravity. We are now affected by gravity and the gun. And we're going to make our way through the map. And do this rocket jump. Do this rocket jump. ASH. Get into a pod. Don't do that, actually. That's super slow. Bad at this game. Help. Can't do it. They patched it. It's over. Run's dead. This run is also, by the way, dead. I'm currently about 3 minutes and 22 seconds behind, like the funny Dota number. Alright, so now when we launch into here, we have a 2-minute cutscene where I'm going to make sure that I set up Refunct so that I can play that game in a few seconds, so don't worry. Hold up. Okay, so now that we have Refunct open, we can go back to the game. Oh, hold on, let me just do this. Nope. Okay, sure. Okay, we're good. So now we just have to sit through this cutscene. So, you know what? Chat, let's play a game. You guys... His name is Solo, the guy who 322'd. What do you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk... I'm sure everyone in the chat wants to talk about some good old Dota 2. You guys like Dota 2. I like Artifacts. I like the hero Axe. The Mad Moon. And that's all. That's all I know. I Spy with my little... Yeah, hold on. We can play I Spy. I Spy with my little eye. Something from the transition metals on the periodic table. Still have no idea what those weird, scrawny alien men are, by the way. I don't. I mean, there probably is some documentation on them somewhere. Dota is the best League of Legends mod. See, I don't know how you could say Dota is the best League of Legends mod when cool games like... God, what was that, like, superhero MMO where, like, the map was, like, a weird, like, diamond? It had, like, you could play a superhero in a MOBA. Anyone remember that? What's wrong with auto chess? Auto chess is great. It's just boring as hell to watch. And we talk about tummy feet? Who wants to talk about tummy feet in the chat? Press 1 if you agree with Dakiox. Press 2 if you are sane. No offense, Dak. City of Heroes? Is that what it was called? I just love the fact that all these dumb MOBAs were made. I mean, I guess it's what's happening with BR games now. You know, you got Realm Royale, everyone's favorite. All the Realm Royale players in the chat want you to speak loud and speak proud. You're still playing a game by Hi-Res Studios in 2019. Alright, anyway, we're at the end of the cutscene now, so... we have to do a trick at the end of this cutscene. By the way, my FPS might look really bad. That's because I have Refunct open at the same time as this game, so don't worry about it. So we need to get up to this wall and then walk to the left a little bit. So what we're going to be doing is this game's going to force us to throw all of our weapons out, but if we're at the very right side of this room, we can actually pick them back up. And as soon as the fizzle actually starts, we pick up the gravity gun and then pick up every other item, which will allow us to get through this fizzler section a lot faster than normal. And keeping the rocket launcher here allows us to skip going across on the bridge that's to our right by going to the left. By going to the left instead. This is so hard to play, by the way. Oh my lord. And we're gonna, excuse me, gonna be doing this, hitting that button, going up an alley, going up this lift. So for the rest of the run, we're just gonna be messing dudes up with the super gravity gun, and then we're gonna be playing some Refunct. But what's another fun trick? You guys probably remember this one, right? You guys know this whole thing where you gotta go up this really big elevator, and it takes fucking god dang forever. Let's not do that. My world needs me. I must go. I'm so sad, dude. I got the launch. That's like the least cool thing ever, to get the launch first try but not make it all the way to the platform. That has got to be the lamest thing that you could possibly do with such a cool trick. Like, I'm sorry. I just failed. I just failed the stream. I failed all of you. Hey, can I get this? This hasn't changed in difficulty. No, I'm just bad at it. I don't know, man. Everyone else gets this first try, but I've been struggling lately. There we go. So yeah, we skip all the way up here, skipping the entire elevator section. I'm sorry for disappointing you all. Excuse me. Got some more movement to do. Pick up some health here. Excuse me, Mr. Strider. Killed me. Where's my last save? Alright, that's fine. I've never... Okay, so this is going to be the third time I say this, but I have actually never died there. I don't actually know what killed me. I think it was an orb, but I don't know where an orb would have come from. Or whatever. Alright, so now we're going on to this map, where we're going to get inside of a pod. Yeehaw. Alright, we're in the pod. So now it's time for what you've all really come here for. We're gonna play Refunct. Yay! Alright, so this is my Refunct speedrun. I bought this game today, and we're gonna speedrun it for all you people at Valuethon. So this is a game by, like, some college student or something. I don't really know what's going on. Man, I got the strat. Let's go. I learned it today, and I didn't put the volume on, so we're just gonna play without audio because I don't want to lose time, because I am a competitive Refunct speedrunner who's put about an hour into the game. So yeah. Dang, I'm bad. My PB in this game, as of like an hour or so ago, is a 3:13, which is like 30 seconds off the record, which is a lot for this game, because I am bad at it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this game is a cool, fun little game. If you guys, like, if there's anyone here who isn't speedrunning, I imagine most people here are speedrunners, but if there are people here who aren't speedrunning, this is actually a really, really good game to get into speedrunning with. It's super short and super fast to learn. Like, as I said, I literally bought the game today. I forgot. And I'm able to do a run of this game that is pretty okay. So yeah, we're just going to be finishing up this game. This is a pretty bad run so far, but this can probably get sub 330. In fact, it definitely can. So yeah, we have to go underwater here. This is a really, really fun game to grind, and like I was having a lot of fun grinding this earlier today, trying to get it like decent at it for this marathon. I was kind of dreading getting this game. I was considering not doing it for the marathon, but this game's super great. I would recommend it to most people. If you have any sort of interest in speedrunning, even if you don't do it yourself, I definitely recommend messing around with trying to get a good run in this game. Because anyone can get a good run in this game. It's like super short, so you just have to like kind of learn all the hard, fast stuff and just get consistent at stuff, and you can do it. But yeah, so we're getting close to the end of this. We probably got like another minute and a half to go or so, and we're probably still on the first map of the two very long cutscenes. So don't worry. Oh, hit the button. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the cutscene that we're currently watching is the last really long cutscene in Half-Life 2. It's about 6 minutes and 20 seconds of cutscene, and it's not skippable. by anything. There is no conceivable way that we have no clue how we would even begin about routing a skip for any of these. Fairly certain it will never happen because just the way that the maps work and everything. But yeah, we're down to our last 3 buttons here. So this is Refunct. Refunct's really cool. Sorry I didn't really commentate anything for this. There's not really much for me to say as someone who doesn't really know much about this run other than, like, I'm okay at it. I learned it earlier today, so heck yeah. And, oh yeah. Also, the first time I played this game, it was on a fight stick at AGDQ, so if you want to have fun times like that, come to AGDQ and hang out with me in buffet time. Anyway, that's the game. We got a 328, so yeah, sub 330. Coolio, we did it. So GG on that. So we're gonna switch back to our Half-Life 2.
Dr. Breen.
Oh, hold on, let me close Refunct because my FPS still sucks.
The bargain we should be making is for Eli's life so he can continue his research.
Thanks to you, we have everything we need in that regard. You're more than qualified to finish his research yourself.
Yeah, it's a cute game.
You nor I can't do is convince that.
Yeah, they are, Miss Gate. I got the idea of doing Refunct runs during this cutscene from my friend Connor. He is one of he has like a 12th in Refunct or something, so he's still a good runner. He runs Old Engine for this game, and he's learning New Engine right now. And when he was running Old Engine during this cutscene, he would play Refunct. So I copied the idea. Actually, on my stream, twitch.tv/alexh0w with a 0 instead of a, or an O instead of a 0 instead of an O. I'm bad at branding. I play the Impossible Quiz during this cutscene, so if you want to see some hot Impossible Quiz action where I try to beat the game for the first time, because I have yet to, you can follow me at twitch.tv/alexh0w.
Even mention her.
Alex, my dear,
Follow for the fans. I've been doing a lot of Half-Life 2 speedruns. After Hackathon, which is a marathon happening later this run to help people get to ESA, I'm going to be switching back to Half-Life 1 speedruns for SGDQ prep. I'm running Half-Life 1 and Quake at SGDQ, so I have a lot of work to put into those games to not be bad at them.
It isn't necessary.
There was no other way for Gordon to get up here. And, like, there's absolutely no way to get up here unless you get inside of a pod or you are part of the Combine. So he just was dumb and did it anyway. Half-Life 1 is a very good run, yes. You guys should watch some Half-Life 1 speedruns.
Realize your contract was open to the highest bidder?
Gordon would never make any kind of deal with you.
I understand if you don't wish to discuss this in
But we have one more trick to
I'll send them
do.
on their way, and then we can talk openly.
Don't struggle, honey.
Dad, I'm so
We have to wait about another 30 seconds to get.
Judith, what do you think you're doing?
We're doing what I could never do alone. We're stopping you.
Yes!
Guards, get in here. They know you.
Where'd that bust at? It's over there.
Judith, Dr. Mossman.
It's hiding from us, but it's there.
You're all out of time.
But don't worry about the bust. We got other things to worry about.
Hurry! Dad, hang on.
You fool.
Watch out, he's gonna.
Alright, we're gonna save load because I just want to ease the tension a little bit, you know? Make yourself a little bit more like, oh man, what's Breen gonna do? What's Breen gonna do, guys? I don't know what he's doing. The screen's white. Oh my god, am I dead? I might be dead or something. I don't even know what's going on. Okay, I think we're fine. So let's just go finish the game. Yeah, so you end this game in no clip.
I'm not saying goodbye. Come on, Gordon. Let's go. Come on, Gordon. We've got to get out of here. Maybe we still have.
And heck yeah, that's time.
Thanks for coming after me. Hey, listen. That's him.
So yeah, this was a 103.59, which is not a very good time, but I'm not gonna complain. And Alex makes a really dumb face during this, and it's really funny to me. So we can just take a, you know, have a little bit of an appreciation of this. Alright, cool. That's Half-Life 2. Yeah, this speedrun sure is something in 2018. It's 2019, Jesus Christ. I'm a 19-year-old. I'm growing old. What is this? I'm in a crazy world. But yeah, Half-Life 2 is pretty wild run. This run's going to be run at SGDQ by Wayzone. He's the current world record holder for this game, and he has a world record of 55 something. He's going to do a really good job at GDQ. I'd recommend watching that run. I'd recommend watching my runs more because I'm cool. But yeah, that's Half-Life 2. We're already behind schedule, so even though the credit song's really cool, I'm not going to play it. So thanks for having me, Valuethon. Enjoy the rest of the event. Have a good one, everyone. Hope to see you all memeing up the chat.